What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Unpopular Zone. And today I got an interesting one for y'all. So, what if the NFL did like the NBA and went to a draft lottery? Now, there's a lot of things being made about the lottery in the NBA. There's a lot of things being made about tanking. And to be honest, I think the NFL has just as big of a tanking problem as the NBA. It's just that the NBA is kind of out there, and with winning the NFL is kind of like a hidden secret. We've talked about certain teams in the NFL tanking, Giants, Raiders. Not going to revisit that today. But what if they went to a model like the NBA? We're going to get into that. So please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button right here for Unpopular Opinion Sports, man.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas you just crossed over into the Unpopular Zone.
Andrew Jones is a shell-shocked quarterback. Ryan Dable, this is on you. You did not have this team prepared. Aaron Judge injected for the first time in his career in the seventh. Cam Thomas needs to elevate his playmaking this year.
So they got to get there. They got to find a way to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And all right, let's get back into it, man. Check it out. NFL draft lottery. So we talk a lot about the draft over here on Unpopular Opinion Sports with the Aboriginal Sports Network. And I wanted to do something different because I want to kind of play a what if game. What if the NFL went to a draft lottery? What if they had the ping pong balls and everything like that, like the NBA? What if that was this season? Now, a lot of people gonna push back about the NFL going to a lottery, so to speak, and I don't think this is something that's being talked about in NFL circles, but we on some popular opinion, man. What you expect? I'm gonna get into this type stuff, but I do think, as I mentioned in the opener, I think there is a low-key tanking problem in the NFL. Teams be tanking, and I think some more heat should be put on the NFL for fixing the problem. Maybe they go to a draft lottery. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be interesting to kind of see how that works. As a matter of fact, let's do that here today. Let's do that on this show. Let's look at this. Let's look at the draft. Let's look at the draft order. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna randomize it, just like a draft lottery. And let's see how it turns out. Be right back. All right, so as we looking at this is the current draft order here. And we talking draft lottery, so we going to mix it up just like a lottery, randomize it. But this is the current order. So you got Vegas, you got the Jets, Cardinals, Titans, Giants, Browns, Washington, New Orleans, Kansas City, Cincinnati. For this particular argument, I would suggest that we just do the top 10 teams. Just the top 10, because if we reaching all the way down, and that team ends up getting it. You see what I mean? So I kind of do want to be a little bit reasonable here with this idea. So we only going to do the top 10 teams, throw them in a pot, see who get the number 1 pick. All the other teams will start from that particular order. You know what I mean? And so top 10 it is. All right. So y'all ready? So I already laid out the regular order here. And then we're going to get to randomizing it and then see how it turns out. All right, so what I did here was I pulled up a fantasy draft order generator. We might do this one for our next fantasy draft for ABSN, but I think this is pretty cool. So, but anyway, fantasy draft random order generator. And I got the teams in the actual order that they were presented in in the regular draft. If you see it here, I got the Raiders, Jets, Cardinals 3rd, Titans 4th, Giants 5th, Browns, Commanders, Saints, Chiefs, Bengals. Let's randomize this thing, see what we get. All right, so here's what we got. We didn't hit the generator, randomize it. Now you can do this, and maybe I'll do this on another show or something, or maybe I'll get some of the fellas from ABSN to pitch in. But you can do this as you can do this like a real lottery where certain teams have more chances to get the number 1 pick. So it does have that option to kind of weigh certain teams a little bit heavier, put more chances in the simulator for that team to get the number 1 pick. But what I did, I'm just going to go straight all crazy with it. And we just did every team with the same chance, no matter what. Browns got the number 1 pick. Browns pick 7th in the real draft. Would the Browns if they had the number 1 pick? Yeah, they probably would go Mendoza, even though they got Sador Sanders on there, but whatever. My thing is, though, look who got the 2nd pick, the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you imagine? And the Chiefs are picking 9th in the real draft. Can you imagine the Kansas City Chiefs sitting up there with the 2nd overall pick in the draft, with Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes still over there? That's why I wanted to get crazy with this. What if you Kansas City, what would you do with the 2nd overall pick, though? Like, seriously. I guess you have to take Arvell Reese. I mean, that defense would be lit with Spagnuolo. Giants team I follow, they get the 3rd pick. Overall 5th. I know Giants fans will be happy that they got pick 3 because they wanted pick 1 throughout the whole season for whatever reason. But Giants getting the 3rd overall pick, I mean, not too bad. Titans get 4, Cardinals get 5. The Raiders, who were 1, they dropped to 6th. No Francisco Mendoza for you. No chicken, no rice, no quarterback, no receiver, no nothing. So the Raiders get pick 6. Bengals end up 7. The Jets, the goddamn Jets, who were 2nd, dropped to 8th. Then you got Saints, Commanders. I think this is fascinating. I don't know why. I just think it's like something in me just wants to see the chaos it would cause if this shit actually happened. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you had a draft lottery and say, I don't know, the Philadelphia Eagles just miss out on the playoffs and end up or Philadelphia Eagles have a down year, end up 10. Oh my God. with the number one overall pick. And see, that's what's going to deter a lot of people from this. But you got to think about it this way too. It's just like the NBA argument. Get out the lottery. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the lottery, build a better team. Get your weight up. And then all this stuff that you see in some of these games in the NFL that look crazy as hell, with teams towards the end of the season, and they do it too in the NFL. They sit players, or players will be hurt more than normal for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden, at the end of it, I seen it with the Giants. All of a sudden, at the end of the year, you got third stringers and practice squad people playing. Wow. So don't act like this don't happen in the NFL. Everybody knew the Raiders was tanking last year. I told people the Giants were tanking for 2 straight years. So let's do an NFL draft. Fuck it. Let's do an NFL draft lottery and switch this shit up. That's what I want to see. But that being said, y'all, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Do you think? First of all, do you like the idea? Y'all probably don't. I know a lot of y'all gonna say it's bullshit, YG, whatever. Or do you think it's interesting? Would you do it? Do you think they should? Like, tell me what you think. What you think about this? Now, I just did a little sample here. Like I said, you know, people gonna be like, well, you can't have the Chiefs get the number 1 too. Why can't you? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you? You think they're gonna run over everybody with just one top pick? Remember, it ain't about where you pick, it's about who you pick. They prove this in the NFL all the damn time. So I think it's fascinating. I hope they do it. They probably won't. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we're going to come back on the next one, man. Some Popular Opinion Sports. Peace.